All right, 3+ complemented by 3 on the ground in the Super Bowl era. 2025 against Arizona. Stafford gets the job done. 45-17, and looked like we might have a game, like first 2 drives. We didn't. All right, back in studio with the fellas, and we were sitting here wondering what the bounce back would look like coming off the Carolina loss. We get a pretty good idea of the makeup of LA after that misstep. They come out this way, JJ. What do they show you here as we try and project LA forward?
Again, when we get to this time of the year, and it is a clear separation of who are good to great teams, who are the middling teams, and then who are the teams where their fans are looking at the draft and where they're going to be picking next year. I want to see the good to great teams absolutely pull away from those other teams. And that's what we saw from the Rams. We saw Matthew Stafford say, I know that they can't guard Puka Nacua. And I know that this defense is missing so many pieces. And I know that that offense on the other side, they're not going to be able to keep pace with us. In fact, no team in the NFL can keep pace with us when it comes to putting points up on the board. And so that is ultimately what I saw from a Rams team. Taking care of the business that they needed to. Run all over them, pass all over them. Puka Nacua is better than anybody that you guys have out there. Matthew Stafford will feel whatever lack of rush you have. And just the better team took care of business, did not play down to their opponent. That is not what the LA Rams have really done the last several years with Sean McVay, and that's not what they will do moving forward.
530 total yards, and this one sort of when we start to think of where things are going to happen, if they can get it in their building, I mean, if controlled environment, this offense is going to go. I'm not pointing to the elements being the reason for the loss a week ago, but it looked far more high octane here, Matt.
It did. And you can tell the loss last week, they were angry. Mm-hmm. The way they played on both sides of the football field, they wanted to dominate and they wanted to embarrass a team because they felt like they let one go last week. And it started with their quarterback and Matthew Stafford. Remember last week, we saw the untimely interceptions surface in his ball game, red zone interceptions. They took one back for a defensive touchdown, the costly fumble. That wasn't tied to Matthew Stafford before Carolina Panthers, the outing, right? And now today, he got back to being the Matthew Stafford that we praised and raved about in terms of being in the MVP conversation. And I agree with you, Joe. I look at all the teams, the high-level NFC teams. I think the Rams will benefit from playing at home the most.
Yep.
Because of their style of play and seeing what has happened in past experiences in frigid conditions or not the ideal scenario outside. But
they lost in the snow to Philadelphia last year.
Yeah. But when you see what they do in quality control environments, weather-wise, they can go with the best of them.
You can grow the grass outside. Just bring it in here for the game. We'd like to play it here.
Yeah, and I'm not saying I don't like their chances because I think Sean McVay is the best coach in the NFC. Right? I would take him over any other coach in the NFC based on what he's done. But I'm just saying I really feel good about their chances if they can get everything in a controlled environment, similar to what we saw today.
Here's the thing. It's a couple of things that I noticed about the Rams. One, I think they have the best franchise in football because when you look at what they do out there during the regular season, this starts in April because their scouting staff does a fantastic job of scouring the nation, getting talent to where when they do have injuries during the regular season, because we know it's a war of attrition, guys step in and play really well, so they're able to sustain that level of continuity. Then when those guys come back, the healthy guys come back, they're able to knock it out the park and play. On top of the fact that this is very important, they can run the ball when they want to. So they run the ball whenever they want to get a lead, to sustain a lead, and to close out the ball game. All the passing stuff that we saw in between, that's cute. Yeah. That's fun. They can do that. That's explosive. But let it be known, they run the heck out the football, and they're built well in the trenches, and they have depth. All of those things, top to bottom, linear leadership, the Rams are doing it the best.
The one area of concern I have with the Rams, and I'm not talking about regular season play because we know they're going to take care of their business. It's about postseason play now. If you're a Rams fan, you're starting to set your eyes on January football because that's where you're going. The one concern I have is in the secondary at the cornerback positions. Right? We saw last week they kind of got exposed.
Emmanuel Forbes.
Mm-hmm. He did not start. It was Ahkello Weatherspoon back in the lineup. So that seems like they're still trying to figure things out outside of Kobe Durant, the opposite corner. That's the one area when you look at their defense, You love their front. You love their pass rushers. You love their linebackers.
Yep.
You love Cam catches at the safety position. You love Lake also. The perimeter cover guys is the one element, because you look at the NFC. If you see a team like Philly, they got dudes. Even though sometimes their passing game has been up and down, they got dudes. We know what Detroit has. Green Bay got a multitude of dudes, especially with Christian Watson. So that's the one area of concern I look at when I look at the Rams in terms of their playoff aspirations, championship aspirations, that outside cornerback position. Everything else I love.
And that's fair, because the other thing is, we're talking about who could benefit the most from playing at home. It's the Los Angeles Rams, because we're talking about their offense. But, you know, in that it's technically an outdoor stadium because the wind can kind of get in, the weather can
It
get
rains
in.
in there too.
Right. But this is an indoor stadium, and so the other team gets to throw on your corners.
Yeah.
In a controlled environment as well. So it's interesting that you point that out. There's sort of one weakness as you look into January football is something that you would think is a strength on the other side.
Yeah.
If you do end up in one of those frigid locations, the run game looked like it can travel on this day as they find the best version of Blake Corum they could get. But did you call the pass game cute?
It was cute.
It's cute, this man?
They got dogs, too.
Don't let him
Tight
hear
end and
you.
receiver. All of them look
That
the
is
same.
a dog. Can he maybe he can play some corner, too.
Probably so.
A little two-way start. Puka Nacua, 150 plus in the last 3 seasons. Second to only Jay Jettis.